Disaster movies can fall into either one of two categories. It could be really goofy and silly fun, or it could fall into the category of just being god-awful trash. Where does Geostorm lie? We'll find out. Hey, what's up, you guys? Film Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Geostorm. So Geostorm stars Gerard Butler, and what this film is basically about. It's about, when these satellites are basically now malfunctioning and attacking Earth, and it's causing some really bad havoc, and now it's up to Gerard Butler and some other people to try to stop this before a geostorm happens, and basically wipes out the entire Earth, basically. So, what did I think of Geostorm? Now, going into Geostorm, I was hoping that this would just be a cornball and cheese movie. Just it's not taking itself too seriously. It's just, knows exactly what it is. It's a fun, stupid disaster movie. That's what I was hoping from this film. And I did not get that at all. This movie, my God almighty, is it awful. This movie is atrocious. I seriously could not believe what I was watching with Geostorm. Geostorm is a complete other mess, a cliched mess. That's exactly what this movie is. And it is awful. This is one of the worst disaster movies I think I have ever seen in my life. Honest to God, I really have to think of this, but this might be almost worse than any Roland Emmerich disaster movie. Almost. Seriously, this movie is atrociously awful. Dear God, even if the movie wasn't good, I didn't expect it to be this bad. Wow, is this movie just awful? Wow. Okay, let's get to my positives. I have no positives with this movie. Seriously, it was seriously so hard to find a positive with this film. There are no positives to me. So, I guess we might as well just get straight into the negatives, because, my God almighty, is there a lot of negatives with this film. Let's start off with the cheesy and overacting acting, basically, because that's exactly what it is. Everyone is so bad in this film. Gerard Butler, who I really don't mind as an actor. I know he gets a lot of flack, but I really don't. He's not the world's greatest actor or anything, but, he's fine for what he does. But man, I could care less about his character. His acting is so wooden and just so bland to me. I could just care less about him. He just wasn't interesting at all to me as a main character. He didn't really gravitate towards me as a main character. He really didn't, and he just wasn't good in the film. Jim Struggles, I don't remember his last name, but it was something like that. He plays his brother. He plays Gerard Butler's brother in the movie. And he's not good too. Man, does he overact a lot during this film too. Seriously, it's just, he so overacts in this film that it's hard to watch at points, honestly. He just is not good in this film. And the woman that plays his fiance, oh my God, is she terrible too. Andy Garcia and Ed Harris, what are you two doing? You guys are phenomenal actors. What the heck? Seriously, they're not good either. They really aren't. God, the acting in this film, like I said, is so just cheesy, over the top, and just terrible. No one gets a good performance in this film at all. And then the actual disaster part of it, it's not even cool, honestly. It really isn't. It's just so underwhelming. And plus, everyone takes it so seriously in this movie. I get it's a natural disaster and whatever, but man, it just takes itself way too seriously in this movie, and it's just why are you doing this? Let's look at something like San Andreas, for example. That movie was just, it was decent, but it was, it wasn't taking itself too seriously. It knew exactly what type of movie it was making. Geostorm, however, thinks it's like taking itself way too seriously. And I'm just like, and that's what's making it so bad to watch, because they're taking this way too seriously. And also, like I said, the characters, you don't care for them because they're so poorly written, and you just could give two damns about them, honestly. They're not interesting whatsoever. And plus, I didn't care at all for Gerard Butler and Jim, so I don't even know. I didn't care for them as brothers. Like, seriously, there was nothing in this film that made me go like, oh, yeah, I feel these two are brothers, nothing. Literally, these two do not feel like brothers at all. And I just could care less. I could care less about Gerard Butler and his daughter. I could care less about that, because it's not well developed, and just the characters are not interesting. Like, really, just honestly and seriously. And the movie is so cliched. Oh my god, does this pull every disaster movie cliche out the book. Honestly, like, even the twist that happens in the movies was even kind of predictable. Like, seriously, this movie is so predictable and so cliched. And I hate it when movies are like that, because I like unpredictable movies. I like movies that keep me guessing of what's going to happen next. But I literally called everything that was going to happen in this film, because I've seen it done so many times with these disaster films. And it's so cliched. Seriously, it's so predictable, this film. Honestly, it is so predictable. The writing is awful. The writing is just atrocious in this film. Honestly, the writing is just so atrocious. Like, nothing makes sense in this movie. Nothing at all. And just the dialogue that just these characters are given are so bad. Like, seriously, the writing is so terrible. The directing even is terrible with this movie. Like, seriously, it's not well shot. Editing is pretty bad, honestly, and the cinematography is not even good to look at. The directing is honestly terrible with this film. It's one of the worst directed films of the year. It's so poorly directed. The visual effects, my god almighty. Like, this and probably Resident Evil are, like, tied now for, like, worst visual effects for me. The effects in this are just god-awful. They are so bad to look at. Like, it was like something out of a... Hell, you know what? Hell, PlayStation 2 video games look better than this. Like, seriously. I can't even believe of how bad the visual effects looked in this movie. For a movie that's made in 2017, and the visual effects look this bad. It looked like something that belonged on the Sci-Fi Channel. Honestly, the plot of this movie, just this movie in general, feels like something that should be on the Sci-Fi Channel, not a theatrical release. And the movie is so ungodly boring. This movie is an hour and 49 minutes. It is an hour and 49 minutes, and it feels like 4 hours. Like, I wanted this movie to end so badly. It drags on forever, this film. This film drags forever. Seriously, I was just like, end already. I am done with you, with your nonsensical plot, your predictable crap. I'm just done with it. Geostorm, what a god-awful movie. Seriously, Geostorm is awful. I could not believe how terrible, honestly, this movie was. Like I said, even if the movie wasn't, like, goofy, fun, just popcorn entertainment, I didn't expect it to be this awful. So, it's time for my official grade on Geostorm, and my official grade on Geostorm is an F. An F, F, F. Seriously, this movie is so awful. It's atrocious. This is one of the worst films of the year. This is my 10th F this year. 10th! Oh my lord, Geostorm is just awful. It's one of the worst disaster films I have ever seen in my life. It is so ungodly awful. I cannot believe how bad this film was. Geostorm definitely, without question, deserves an F. So, if you have seen Geostorm, what did you think of it? Please leave it in the comment section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we will see you all later. Peace.